Hello everyone, good evening. Am I audible? One second. One second, guys. Yeah, just doing a little bit of testing as usual before the class starts. Okay, wow. Um, Usually before the class starts, like three or four people will be there. No, not even three or four. Barely like one or two will be there. Only after I start the class, and once I say hi, people start saying hi. Okay, today I could see that there are like six viewers in the chat. Okay, so let's say hi to everyone. So Jay Prakash, hi. Okay, I do remember certain students' name, even though if you guys don't say like I'm Arin, like hi Arin, then okay, let's see. The one with Jitendra Kumar Yadav should be Vansh, right? Okay. Hi Vansh, and then Manasvi. Hi Manasvi. Hi Aman. Okay, I think today, yeah, today last week, if I'm not wrong, a lot of students had gone for tournament, right? And yeah, okay, yeah, not gonna leave out anyone. Hi Muriel. Okay, so this time I think this weekend there's not much tournaments. That's what I presume, right? So we are gonna assume that there's gonna be full attendance today, right? Last time I had to like play some puzzle racer until some students come, right? Okay, anyways, let's get started, guys. Just give me a second. Yeah, anyways, welcome to today's episode number 15, I guess, right? It's episode number 15, should be 15 or 16 maybe. In the playlist the episodes are not exactly going in the right order, anyways. So, episode number 15 of Learn from Chess Legends. Okay. So, today, which legend are we exactly learning from, everyone? Which legend are we going to learn from today? Who is this guy below me? As of now, you guys can see the pic, right? Tigran. Okay. Yeah, he's Tigran. Okay, I mean, that's his initial name though. But okay, people mainly they call him as Petrsosian. Okay, if you say Tigran, not many people recognize, right? So that's what. So Tigran Petrsosian. Okay, so let's give you guys a brief introduction on Tigran Petrsosian. So first thing you have to know that Tigran Petrsosian was one of the world chess champions. So he's the ninth world chess champion. Okay, so if you guys don't know what's world chess champion, you guys should know who's Gukesh. He's just popular because he's the world chess champion, right? So just like that, Tigran Petrosian was also world chess champion. Okay, and he was known as Iron Tigran because the word iron means he's a very strong defensive player. Okay, I mean nowadays if you see one of the strongest defensive player is people like Hikaru, Hikaru Nakamura. I don't know if you guys have heard of him, of course, and Gukesh also, of course. Gukesh, Hikaru, these are like one of the strongest defensive players. Okay, so that's what he's known for, and was also known for some crazy positional attacks. Okay, he's also a very good positional attacking player. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, so as said, we are going to cover one game. Usually, I cover two games, right? You have heard of him, sir. Learn about when will we learn about modern legends? Good question. Right. Hi, sir. Lishan. Okay. Hi, Lishan. How are you, man? Okay. Modern legends. Who are the modern legends? We have modern legends like Vishwanathan Anand, Magnus Carlsen. Right. I mean, if I want, I can jump directly to them, but then it's going to take some time. It's much better to learn from old legends than modern legends. You know why, Manasvi? Because modern legends, if you see, right, they have learned from these old legends, right? And these old legends games are more easier than modern legends. That's one more team, right? It's more easier thing for me also. Okay, so anyways, let's get started. So here Tigran Petrosian is playing with the white pieces against a guy named as Pacman. Okay, so this was played in like 1962. Okay, and at that time Petrosian was not really a world champion. Okay, Pacman was like a very strong player in one of the tournaments. He was the one favorite to win that tournament. Okay, so let's see how that game goes. So here, Petrosian starts off with the move nf3. Okay, now let me tell you one thing very honestly about this move. Okay, whenever I play chess, right, if I'm playing with the black pieces, I hate it when anyone plays knight f3, guys. It's like really the most annoying opening ever. Okay, the one who's playing knight f3 is like the most flexible opening. Like, you don't know what they'll be playing. They could be playing something called as the King's Indian. They could be playing the Reti. Right? It just spoils the fun. Sometimes when I see someone play knight f3, I just feel like resigning. It's just so boring and so terrible during the tournaments, right? But anyways, okay, they didn't resign anyways. So what did Pakman play? He plays c5 and Petrosian played g3. He wants to put the bishop to g2 and he wants to have a long diagonal and he wants to castle, right? And knight c6. By the way, this is called as the Reti system, this move order with c5 and nf3. Okay, so bishop g2, and even black does the same thing. He's like, since the bishop cannot develop here, so he's thinking of developing it on this diagonal, right? So a lot of Sicilian openings go in that fashion. So g6, d3, and one second, yeah, bishop g7, and he has played the move d3. So usually people play d4, okay, or they might play e4, but d3. D3 is a different move order. So this type of move order where they play d3, knight f3, and bishop g2, this is called as, yeah, along with short castle, this is called as King's Indian. Okay, so something new you guys learned. So this is called as King's Indian. Usually King's Indian is played with the black pieces. Okay, but since white is playing it, we call it as reverse King's Indian. Okay, so anyways, let's see what black has to reply. So black usually, if I was black, I would play something like d5, taking the full center, right? But here black played e6, okay? So this move, at that time, like, people did not have the positional knowledge, okay? It's a little risky because now if you see, it's, how do I say, you have put one, two, three. You have combined e6, like e6 and g6, right? So these squares kind of become a little weaker. Okay. So nowadays in the modern games, people don't play that. Okay. And anyways, the idea behind e6 is he wants to play d5 and he wants to put the knight here. Okay. The thing is, if the knight comes over here, then the bishop kind of gets angry, right? So that's why he wants to put the knight here and then he wants to put d5 and he's going to have a good game. Okay. So what does white do? White plays the move e4, gaining the center. And now knight ge7. Okay. And he wants to push d5. Okay. So what does Tigran do? Okay, he plays rook e1. He wants to push the e pawn to e5 because if he pushes it directly, what's going to happen is he's going to lose it, right? Because there are two attackers on it. And again, it's not fun to lose a pawn in the opening, right? So he plays rook e1, preparing the move e5. Okay. And here black castles. Okay, black kind of castles over here. And what does white do? White has like a lot of options. He can play knight d2, but again, why did he play rook e1? Because he wants to push e5. And this pawn is like, how do I say? It's a bone in black's throat. It's controlling the dark square's weaknesses around the king. So this is what Petrosian is telling. Okay, have the dark square weaknesses around the king. So what does Pacman do? Pacman is like, nope, you are not having any dark square weaknesses. He's going to play the move d6. I'm going to eliminate this pawn, the pawn that's controlling my dark square, right? So yeah, what can you do? You have to take, he takes d6, queen takes d6. Okay, so if you see black, white feels like, he wasted three moves with the pawn, like, no, 1, 2, and 3. Okay, 2 or 3. Yeah, basically e5. No, two moves with the pawn. Okay, does not look quite good though. But anyways, yeah. So now, if you are black, what would you naturally play here? Can anyone tell me a natural move? What would you guys play here if you were black? Like, what are some moves you guys could do? And I know I might be like asking directly the positional answers, right? Usually I ask you guys tactical questions, but what would you guys generally play here? Okay, anyone? If you're black, bishop f4. Okay, it's black to play. Let's make one thing clear. Oh, sorry. It's white to play, right? Yeah, yeah. Bishop f4. Okay. Lot of people looks at want to play bishop f4. That's pretty cool, right? Develop your bishop. You'll later on develop your knight. Life is good. But there's one problem with the move bishop f4 is black won't move the queen. Who can tell me what can black do if you play bishop f4, guys? What's more stronger than moving a queen? Come on. What is more stronger than moving the queen? Yeah, it's to attack, right? When someone attacks you, instead of sometimes instead of always running away, it's always better to consider what happens if I attack them, right? So there are like sufficient attacker on this piece. Okay, so e5 kind of he has to waste tempo, but okay, bishop f4 would have been good, right? Okay, so anyways, knight d2 was played. Okay, and when the move knight d2 was played, the bishop had something to say to Petrsosian. Okay, of course, right. So of course the bishop is now blocked in, right? He cannot come outside. So the bishop kind of get got sad. But Petrsosian was like, you don't have to be sad. Okay, I will eventually get you out. There's no urgency for you to come out. Okay. So now again, the question was supposed to be for black again, not for white. Okay, what would you play as black here? Like because this is a weird position. I'm pretty sure not a lot of people have gotten into such a position because you guys have not played like this sort of system, right? Everyone likes to play like e5 and play a semi-open game, right? This is a little different middle game, right? So I want you guys to tell me what are certain moves you guys can do, like anyone? Knight c3. The knight c3 for white. Okay, totally. I really don't disagree. Okay, knight c3 is a possible move. Okay, as white, but knight d2 has its own reason. Okay, I will tell you why knight c3 was played. Sorry, why knight d2 was played. I'll tell you why. Okay, Lishan, why did black play knight d2? What would you play as black again? How will you try to develop your pieces? Anybody? So a lot of people might, think, okay, I'll play rook d8, rook e8, natural moves. What about this bishop? Where do you put the bishop? Right? This bishop does not look again. That's a problem when you play e6, right, and g6 together. That's one problem about this bishop. Okay, e5. E5 you play, then this bishop will kind of feel sad, right? Okay, we're not putting e5. Well, anyways, okay. So probably the right move was to play b6. Okay, it's to kind of open up this bishop, play bishop b7. Okay, and okay, you have two bishops like what do you say, crisscrossing the board. Okay, this is the only way to develop the bishop, right? But he played queen c7, which probably was not such a great move. Maybe because I think he was scared of knight e4, I guess, or knight c4, which comes with tempo, right? So that's why he must have played queen c7. Like, okay, I don't, he doesn't feel comfortable when someone attacks his queen. Okay, and now comes the crazy part. Okay, the next move what Petrsosian played. Okay, it's not like super crazy. It's like a positional move. Okay, and honestly speaking, I really don't understand what is the point of that move. Okay, he plays the move knight b3. Okay, this is so weird. Anyone would play something like knight e4 or knight c4, right? But he plays knight b3. This move I could not even understand. Okay, and you know what's more crazier, guys? This is the top engine move. When you look at some crazy looking move, okay, and when you look at the engine, and when you see engines appreciating such a move, you feel like slapping the engine or something, like that's how terrible it feels. Okay, knight b3 just attacking this pawn. And I don't know why engine appreciates. Maybe his idea is to go d4, I guess. But again, I could not really get the gist of this move. Okay, knight b3. Now again, any normal person sees knight b3 would play something like what? What would you play? How do you defend this pawn, guys? How should I defend this pawn? Easy question. Come on. How do I defend the pawn? Anybody? Simple question. Yeah, b6, right? So what's a big deal? B6 instead, not only I'm not only developing the bishop. I mean, not only defending. I'm also developing this bishop. Right? This bishop can come here. Right? So I'm killing two birds with one stone. Right? But okay, he played knight d4, which is a mistake. Okay, we'll get to this move anyways. We'll see why he did not play b6 is because you have to note that this diagonal gets a little weak, right? So first thing is he must have seen that there is bishop f4. Okay, attacking the queen. So let's say queen d7. And now what he can do is he can put pressure on this knight. Like, he can play knight e5 taking advantage of the pin, right? So this is why he did not play this. Okay, taking advantage of this pin piece. Uh, but actually, to be honest, he could, after the game, like, a lot of people, there are some strong players who analyze, right? They said that you can actually sack your rook, okay, which is kind of crazy. So let's say bishop takes a8. Now you can just come back. Okay, let's say bishop takes c6. You can take with the queen. And the reason why this sacrifice is good is because now your light squared bishop is not there. This light square is weak. You can put your bishop over here and put some pressure along this diagonal. Again, there are a lot of people who have done such sacrifices. Okay, Petrosian himself must have done such a sacrifice. But this move was not played by black. Okay, he did not go for it. Okay, he played knight d4. Okay, now the queen kind of defends it. Okay, and now the knight was kind of covering this square, right? So now you have to note that this move is possible, right? Before it wasn't. When the knight was over here, it wasn't possible, guys, because we could play the move e5, but now the knight is not there, right? The e5 square is well guarded, right? So can anyone spot a very good move here? Because black did not play a good move. He played something like queen b6. Okay, black is really not playing some good moves. Okay, that's the best thing I like about old games, because a lot of people are making mistakes which are more easier to cover. But in terms of modern games, it's not the case, right? The games are like pure. Okay, so anyways, there's a good positional tactic here. Okay, we can try to play for e5. Okay, that is by actually taking. Okay, bishop takes f3, and now you can play e5 because we have two attackers on this pawn, right? So he cannot take it. So let's say he drops it somewhere over here, and now this does not look pleasant. Okay, because the bishops are kind of strong, right? So black kind of must have seen till this point. Okay, the bishops are strong, and I know what to do. I know how to defend. If I play b6, I lose my rook, right? But I think black kind of miscalculated. How do you deal with this situation? Is there a way to defend this pawn? Let's see if anyone can find a very good way to defend this pawn or do deal with this problem. Okay, can anyone find it? How does black deal with this situation? If you are black, there is one detailed move that he must have missed here. N into f3. Okay, very good. c4. Yes, this is the move Pacman missed. Okay, of course he must have seen, and now, okay, although I think white is slightly better here because of these two bishops, right, soaring the board over here, but he can fight here, right, he can fight. So this is something that he must have missed. So bishop f4, he played queen b6, okay, and now how do we attack now? How do we make improvements? Okay, we have all our pieces developed. Half of you might, I'm pretty sure, might think of playing some moves like queen d2 connecting the rooks. Half of you might just see that the knight is like, there's some tension between the knights, and you guys might go and just capture the knight because none of you guys like to maintain tension, right? It's very annoying when pieces are looking at each other. Boom, you just go and capture it, right? And okay, what else is there? Okay, some people might see some good positional resources. Okay, um, here Petrosian played knight e5. Okay, so this knight, okay, first of all, if he takes, then thank you so much for the bishop, guys, because now his dark squares are weak, right? So black is like, you know what, I'm not going to take this, right? So what does he do here? Again, he sees that there's some tension over here. He kind of takes it, right? Now, what should white do? Should I take with the a pawn or should I take with the c pawn? Let's see. Should I take with the a pawn or should I take with the c pawn? Come on, guys. Take with a pawn. Okay, Manasvi says take with a pawn. A into b3. Anyone else, guys? A pawn. Okay. A. Okay, everyone wants a pawn. Okay. Okay, everyone wants A. Okay, so everyone are in love with A for some reason, right? Okay. Anyway, C pawn is terrible because it isolates this pawn, right? And also there's a principle called when you're having two options, you have to take towards the center. This pawn is going towards the center, right? This is going away from the center. Okay, it's going far away from the center. That's a principle. But anyways, you know what's funny, guys? The answer the answer is neither taking with the A pawn nor taking with the C pawn. I fooled you guys. You fell for it. There's a stronger move, guys. So this is called as an in-between move. Can you guys find a very good in-between move here for white? Instead of taking the knight, there is an in-between move here. Come on. Knight d7. Oh, no. Knight d7. I think there is bishop into d7. Right. Knight c4. Yes. This is what you call as in between move, right? Why is it called in between? Because you are, instead of doing something that is normal, not a normal human being would just capture, right? You do something abnormal. That is, what do you say? Yeah, here in this case you attack the queen, right? You're attacking the queen. Okay, so anyways the knight does not have time to escape, so yeah, you have to move the queen. So again, if you move the queen somewhere to d8, then of course now there's no in between move. You have to take with the a pawn, right? And now if you see, look at these bishops, guys. These bishops are like monsters, right? This is a beast. And now upon that, this square is also a weakness. Okay, that was the actual main theme of this whole, what do you say, game. The weakness, the dark square weakness. The knight can just jump over here. The dark square weakness, that is over here, here and here. Okay, these squares become like complete weaknesses if you play the moves like e6, g6 and this. Okay, and it's a little high level. Okay, it's a little high level, but anyways, okay, uh, so for that very reason, when knight c4 was played, he did not go back. He played queen b5, and now a takes b3. Now you might ask, sir, what's the difference? The difference is nothing. It's the same. The bishops are strong, but now having the queen over here, right? It's more, what do you say, less riskier. Nobody can attack the queen, but then you might be like, sir, I can play rook a5 and attack the queen, right? So that was his idea. He will play the move a5 himself. And he's trying to create some counterplay. He's trying to play a4. Okay. And maybe he has some ideas of rook a6 is what he said in the game. Okay. A little weird move. Okay. Yeah. So now, again, it's white to play. How many of you guys? Okay. And knight d6 also. Bishop into b2. Yes. nc4 protects the b2 pawn. Exactly. That's one thing too. Right? Yeah. So here, I know, if I ask this question to like, give this position to like 100 people, okay, no one need 100 people. Like, let's say there are like 10 people in this chat, okay, 12 people, lot of people, I will write and you will immediately play knight d6, right? How many of you guys thought of this move? Tell me honestly. Everyone would play knight d6, right? Lot of people will. Yeah, lot of people. No doubt about it. Including me, I would immediately consider a move like knight d6, obviously. Right. But here, the thing you guys have to understand is knight d6 running anywhere? Right. Is this move going to go anywhere? Like, we can play this anytime, right? We can do this anytime. We have to think about some other improving moves. And there are some stronger moves again than knight d6. Knight d6 is a tempo. Totally agree. But after this, what? What next? The queen goes somewhere to like, I don't know. Let's say b6. What next? Right. I mean, you can still continue with the plan. I mean, you can improve, you can play queen d2 and stuff, right? But here, what Petrosian did is he played bishop d6, guys. Okay, who found the move bishop d6? Okay, obviously now everyone will say not me, right? Because I told you guys, right? Bishop d6. Okay, well done. If you guys found this move, bishop d6. This is a tempo, right? This is a tempo move. You are attacking the knight, and later on you have some basic pressure on this pawn too. Okay, so here again, how will you defend this knight? It's also pinning the knight, right? How will you naturally defend this knight? How will you defend the knight? Queen d7. Okay. Queen d7. Okay. Now, we are using the queen to defend the knight. I don't think that's a very good plan. But okay, queen d7 actually, you can push b5 and try to chase the knight away. That's kind of interesting. Right, but I wouldn't play something like this passive because now the bishop also gets blocked, right? Uh, I mean, bishop is anyways blocked too. I don't know how much more can you block the bishop, right? So this bishop is anyway sad. We don't want to make it more sadder, right? Okay, that's not gonna work. Rook e8 is what he should have played, right? Because this is natural. You're unpinning the knight, right? Pins are always unpleasant, guys. Whatever happens, try to avoid getting pinned. Okay, and maybe next later on he would have played queen d2 and whatnot. Maybe he would have tried to improve the position even more, and maybe you could have figured something out later on. Okay, again, maybe you'd have pressured this pawn. I mean, this is like highly unlikely that this pawn is even worth it. Anyways, he does not play rook e8. He plays a rather more weirder move, bishop f6. Okay, this is, let's put a question. Oops. Um, Bishop f6. Let's put a question mark in this. Maybe I kind of forgot to make this move. Right. This is a terrible move, guys. This is a terrible move. Why would you defend the knight like this, guys? Why would you want to defend the knight like this? Right. I mean, you have a lot of options in life, right? Now the knight is like kind of sad. It's like, stuck here. It's pinned. Right, and you're using this bishop to defend this knight. This bishop has a very good role of like looking after the diagonal. Now it has to like supervise this knight, which is quite awkward, right? I don't know why would you play such a move. This is very bad, guys. This is very bad. Even though this guy is a master level player, I don't know why he did this mistake, right? But our job here is to learn from those mistakes, right? So for this mistake, now it's time to pounce. And at this point onwards, the positional game is gone for a, what do you say? How do you know? Gaya tel lene. That's what they say. Now it's time to attack. Right now it's time to push the button, guys. How do you play now? How do you continue? Okay. Now I forgot to tell you guys something more important that about Tigran Petrosian. you know Before I chose this topic, I was like, I don't know how will I show this topic to Petrosian, because this man is a purely positional player, right? He's like one of my favorite positional player. Okay, but actually Petrosian, if he wanted, he could be an aggressive attacking player like Tal. Okay, he could have been like a very good aggressive attacking player, but he chose not to because he liked to play positional chess, right? I don't know why. right? That's his choice. Yes, it's time to push the button. Queen f3 again. Boom. You're having the lead, you're having the attack. Just pull it, right? You're having the initiative. You have to go for it. Queen f3, attacking the bishop, right? Queen f3. And now, okay, he has only one way to defend the bishop, right? Again, is it good to go bishop g5, guys? A little bit of tactics. How do you win the position if you play bishop g5? Was not played here? Yes. Again, this is called as, type 2 undefended piece. When one piece is defending another piece, then it's always very bad, right? Because we can chase one more defender, we can just chase the defender. h4, good. Well done, Arin. So bishop h4, the bishop goes anywhere. I don't really care where it goes. I'm just going to take the knight, right? So, okay, he can go here, but that just blunders. Yeah, bishop. Yeah, no, there's a knight here. Okay. Knights can move backwards, right, guys? Yes. Okay. So, he did not play that. How do we defend the bishop then? Right. How should we defend the bishop now? What should black play to defend the bishop? King g7. Yes, you should play the move king g7. And it looks like black is chilling, is holding everything, but you have no idea what's going to come next, right? Now you have a situation where like black is playing all positional stuffs. He's like attacking at one point, and then he's trying to do some improvement, right? He's trying to put pressure on the queen side. Things are going pretty well, and suddenly out of nowhere your opponent does kaboom. Just imagine what happens, guys. A game is going like quite simple positional, and suddenly your opponent does kaboom, right? So who can find the kaboom move that's gonna shock you guys, right? Rook e5. Ah, that's interesting. Rook e5. I would certainly consider a move like rook e5, even though it hangs the bishop. But again, a bigger kaboom move. Let's see. White to play and kaboom. I hope you guys know what is kaboom. If you guys have been the viewer of this channel, right? If you guys have been the viewer of this channel, you guys will know what is kaboom. h4, come on, guys. h4, rook e4 is not kaboom. Come on, you guys know better, right? Come on, yeah, come on. You've been my viewer for like so long. You guys should know what's kaboom. Blissful mystery. I think you're quite close there. Blissful mystery. Well, by the way, may I know who the student is? Blissful mystery, or must be someone from outside Venture Chess Academy. If you are, then welcome to the stream again. Okay, I hope you are having an good time learning. Bishop e5 again. Bishop e5 trading the bishop. Not really much, but okay. Queen into b7. Okay, not that much of a kaboom though. Now I know. Now some people are like, oh, queen sack, right? I'll start looking where I can sack my queen. Right? I mean, why would you sack your queen over here? Which is a better queen sack? Come on. Now you guys already know it's a queen sack coming. Come on, you have to know where it is. G4. Okay, that's also interesting. Okay. Queen f6, of course. Right. Queen takes f6. Now it's like full puzzle time. Okay, this is like, okay, I don't know how many of you guys have solved the puzzles shared by Sriram sir. It's called 1001 Deadly Checkmates. Okay, and in that there's a concept called as mating net. Okay, that you guys will learn over here. This is like so hard to see in the game because everything is going silent, right? So and suddenly you do this, your opponent will just jump out of the chair, right? Queen takes f6. What the hell is that move? King into f6. And this is the example. You take advantage of the dark squares. Right? Now how do you follow up, guys? How do you follow up? h4. h4 is actually very... Wow. Anyone who said h4 after that would be good, but okay. King f6. Bishop e5. Yes, well done. Bishop e5. And it's a checkmate. It's a checkmate. Wait. It's not. It's not a checkmate. Wait, has he blundered? Did we just sack a queen for no reason? If you're sacking the queen, then you have to do it for the sake of a checkmate. Right. If you are sacking the queen, you have to do it for the checkmate, but this is not a checkmate. What has Petrsosian done? Okay, what has Petrsosian done? Are you crazy? This is not checkmate. The king is on g5, right? h4. Lot of people are saying h4. The king goes to h6. Now what do you do? What do you do now? What do you do now? You're gonna give this check? What are you gonna do now? h4, king f5. Okay, king f5 would, if your opponent plays king f5, then again, bishop f3 is mate, right? I would absolutely love for him to play king f5, but no. Again, you have to always assume that your opponents are not noobs, right? King h6. Right, now what are you guys gonna do? What are you guys gonna do? h4. Everyone started saying h4. Right. g4. Okay. Interesting. So you guys are like trying to checkmate him, right? It's kind of interesting. And then, okay, you can try to prepare bishop f3 and then g5. So in a good world, let's say some random move like b6, right? You play something like bishop f3 and let's say random move like this. Now you play this and this will be checkmate, right? It's not so simple, guys. It's not so simple, right? But anyways, g4 is a good try, but I don't really think it works. Maybe he can play g4, making an escaping square, right? And if you see, if you ever, like after king h6, if you go here, the king is going to escape to g7, right? So your idea is right, guys. But the thing is, the king is escaping to h6, right? So here you have to find a good move that stops the king from escaping. This move is like purely an what do you say, advanced level move. We can call this as a quiet move too. Quiet but a deadly move. Okay, if you guys can find this deadly move, then awesome. Okay, I'll tell you guys, this move kind of covers up the king's escaping squares. Okay, f4 again. See, once if you play Vansh Yadav, right? If you play f4, the king is going to escape to h6. Okay, he's going to hide. He's going to hide, right? And it's really hard to do g4, g5 mate. It's not really going to work. Okay, honestly speaking. Bishop g7, another brilliancy. What a move. What a move. Right. And now the point is now h4. It's going to be mate. h4 if the king goes to h5. So here like, a lot of people will be like wondering, what is black going to play, right? In this kind of situation, I'll tell you guys one secret, okay? Whenever it's like, it's a puzzle, you won't know what's black going to play, right? You'll be like, what is black going to play? Is he going to develop his rook? Is he going to play bishop d7? No. Here you have to give the move to white. You know why I'm giving this move to white? Because then only you'll be able to understand what black should move. Okay, now I'll ask you guys, if it is white to play, what would white play here? If it is white to play in this position, let's give a two turns to white, right? What would white play here? Come on, easy, right? The thing is, I don't know if I can make it white to play, like, let's just add one chapter making it white to play simply for the sake of it. Okay, let's make it white to play in the next chapter simply for the sake, okay? Uh, let's say create chapter. Yeah, if it is white to play, how will you play here? H4, simple, right? Uh, oops, yeah, H4. My bad, sorry guys. A little issue with my this thing, chat or something. Yeah. Yeah, h4, rook e5, I think the knight can come, but rook e5 is generally awesome. So let's say king h5, then where's the mate, guys? If he goes to king h5, everyone, I want everyone in the chat to write the answer. King h5, where is the mate? Quickly. Rook e5, knight f5, blocks. Always when you give checks, right? First thing, see if anyone can capture the checker. Second thing, see if anyone can block. Bishop f3, mate, right? Okay, let's say king g4. Now what do you do? Now what do you do? Where's the mate now? Right? Where's the mate? Bishop f3 now I think the king can take. What can you play here exactly? There's mate in one here. Rook e4 is also mate, I guess, if I'm not wrong. No, rook e4, the king goes here. Yeah, everything is mate. I was thinking something like knight check, king here and then bishop h3. That's mate, right? So that's also mate. You can even go rook e4. No, yeah. Then there's two options. Again, if he goes here, then this is checkmate. And if he goes f5, yeah, again, lot of mates. Bishop h3. So mate, it's raining mates wherever he goes. Right. Now you have to come back to this position. Right. So and then you have to figure out how does he stop h4. Right, because h4 is a threat. So that time you guys will be like, oh, so I have to stop h4. Right. I have to stop h4. So and then you guys might come up with something like knight f5. Right, which kind of stops h4 because if he plays h4, now he can like, yeah, exactly. Well done. nf5 by black. Good. He can sack, takes, king takes. But still, I think there is rook e4 check. King goes to g5. No, but still king is like kind of holding now, right? I think after knight f5, there has to be something good. Can anyone find something good here for black? Maybe I pin the knight. Yeah, this is the way to go about it. We pin the knight, guys. We pin the knight, and then now h4 is going to be a threat, right? Pin it to win it, and I don't think there's any way to stop it, right? Is there anything, guys? If I'm missing something, please let me know. I'm not even looking at the engine. Right, at this point, if you turn on the engine will find some crazy moves. Okay, some weird move like, I'll just sack the queen, I'll just sack. But again, if he does something like that, it's still winning, right? No, right? So it's kind of winning, right? Again, yeah. So yeah, that's the thing. So bishop g7. Okay, now how many of you guys are ready for something called as a plot twist? Okay, now I'll show you guys a very crazy plot twist. Okay, this, when I say this, your heart might sink. Okay, this is called as a plot twist. Okay, if you guys don't know what's plot twist, so let's come all the way over here. Petrosian did not play queen takes f6. He did not play queen takes f6. He missed it. He missed it, guys. I'm so sorry, he missed it. Oh my god, no. You have missed such a beautiful gold coin tactic, right? Come on. This is one tactic I would play and retire from chess. Right. I would say that okay, my life is complete after this. Right. Okay, he missed it. Right. He played the move rook e4. Okay, he's like, oh, I'll just lift my rook and I'll try to do some counterplay. Right. Okay. So rook d8 was played. Now what does Petrsosian play here? Come on, guys. I'm so sorry to break your heart, guys. Sometimes I have to do it, right? But again, you guys found it, right? So congrats to you guys, right? Come on, if you guys are stronger than Petrsosian, right? It's proved. It's hence proved. You guys are stronger than him. He did not find it. You found it. Good for you, right? Okay. Now there's a saying, right? Lightning doesn't, you know. I really forgot what was the saying here, right? God only gives you one chance, right? So these players are like gods, right? So this time he actually plays it, guys. He plays it queen takes f6. But again, it was not as dramatic as the last one, right? This time he plays it, and I promise you guys, this is no plot twist. He plays it, okay? I promise you guys. You guys can believe my promises, right? I won't break promises so easily. King into f6. Yeah, and this time it's kind of straightforward. Now you guys know all the variations, right? This time it comes with even more stronger effect. The rook is also participating, right? So again, I won't tell the moves. Can you guys write the moves in the chat? I want you guys to write the whole moves. Okay, I won't tell you guys. Queen into f6. Yes, well done, Lishan. Okay, write the whole moves. What's the move here? Come on, quickly. Whatever mating, I'll give you guys a couple of minutes. You guys already know the moves. Let's see, we'll write it quickly. Bishop e5. Okay, not one move. Come on, quickly. You guys, what? You guys took like 1 minute to write one move. What? Bishop e5. Bishop, write together. Bishop e5, king g5. After that, yeah. You guys, that's how you guys should write the whole moves. If some strong rated players are there, they would have written like that. So bishop e5, king g5, and the next 2, 3 moves, they would have written it in a line. right? Ah, again, bishop e5, everyone. Okay, D Sarge, Muriel, come on, guys. Yeah, since I wanted you to write it. Yeah, well done, Manasvi. Okay, Global Chess Club. Bishop e5, King g5, Bishop g7, and then followed by h4. Good. So this is just to test how many of you guys were sleeping and how many of you guys were attentive. You guys all passed the test. Bishop e5, King g. Oops, King f5 is also moved, but Bishop h3 is made. Right. Is it mate? Yeah, it just transposes anyways. Okay. So King g5, Bishop g7, and okay. Let's say he plays e5, guys. What do you do then? Like, e5 is a little tricky. Like, he's making a route for him to escape. Right. How do you follow up then? What's the mate here? Quickly, it's mate into. It's not a big deal, right? h4, yes. h4, King f5, then Bishop h3. Right. If he goes King h5, then we go here, and that's kaboom. Right. This is even more bigger actually. Now this is checkmate. Right. Anyways, after the move Bishop g7, opponent just resigned. Okay, because he did not want to get checkmated by a queen sack. Instead of that, he resigned. He thought that's more less humiliating than getting checkmated in the center by getting the queen sacrificed. Right. So that was the thing. Okay. So this is a model game, explaining kind of like, a lot of people, what do you say? They like, even while playing the Sicilian, okay, like let's say any move, they like to play like, what do you say? I'll just show you guys like this. Okay, it's more easier. I don't know if you guys can see it. They like to play this kind of setup where they put here the e6 and g6, right? And this kind of like, weakens the squares, right? So this is one illustration to show how to take advantage of those dark squares. If you see, because of those weak squares only, black lost, right? So that's a main theme, right? When you're playing, don't weaken the squares. It's a little high level concept though, but regarding the model games, I really did not like all the other games. Thought out of all the model games, this was kind of the best games what I could show you guys, right? And anyways, before I end the session, I always notice one thing is like, for the ones who are playing the Sicilian, okay, a lot of people are playing the accelerated dragon, and you guys like to play knight c6. You guys do like to do this, right? Also note that a lot of player for this also, you guys do the same thing. You guys play here, right? Bishop g7, castle. You play d6. I mean, not d6. You guys play the same moves, right? You don't have to do that, right? For the ones who are playing the Sicilian, I would like to say that, uh, oops, knight c6. There are different ways to punish this. One thing is, you can just blunt this bishop. You can play for e6 and d5. Okay. So for the ones who are watching this, if you guys play the, yeah, if you guys play the accelerated dragon, right, as black, just play e6 and d5 if your opponent plays the Italian. Okay. So that's one thing I wanted to make note of. And yeah. So anyways, I think we'll conclude today's session, right? And I hope you guys enjoyed the session, enjoyed the queen sack, and found the game very instructive, more than anything else, more than entertaining, right? So thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. Hope you guys have a good weekend, right? So that's it. I'm gonna leave, guys. Thank you. Bye bye. Love you all. See you. Take care. It was amazing. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Stream. Yes. Bye.